pay for your flight to London?
Oh, I got a great deal. I paid $2,742. I just booked it this morning.
Dude, that's ridiculous. I paid $450 for mine.
Wow. I thought I had an amazing deal.
No, not at all.
Hey, John and Kelly. I hear you are both going to Punta Cana. How much did you pay for your air?
I paid $427 for my air.
Ooh.
What? $427. I paid $742. How is that even possible? You told me to book it during the seat sale and I didn't. We have to go to our friend's wedding though, so we have to make this work.
Have you ever been on a flight and someone asked you, how much did you pay for your airfare? And you both realized you paid totally different prices. How is that possible that someone literally sharing the same armrest with you paid only $427 while you paid $2,700 for your flight? A major reason why we have different prices is because each airfare has several rules attached to them. When I say rules, I don't mean rules on when you can open the window shade or that you have to wear your seatbelt at takeoff. When I talk about rules in this segment, I'm referring to airline rules. At first, these seem to have no rhyme or reason, but soon you'll find out that these rules can make some sense and are associated with things like the best time to book, how long or short your trip is, and how much flexibility you need. And the more restrictive the fare, the cheaper the fare is. The more flexible the rules are, the more the airfare costs. What are some of these airline rules? Advance purchase. How far in advance you need to purchase this ticket to get this fare. Every fare has an advance purchase, from no advance to months out. Let's go through an example of an advance purchase. A common one we hear about are those fares that require a 14-day advance purchase. This means you need to purchase this fare a minimum of 14 days out. You can actually book these fares months out. Now, booking a 14-day advance does not guarantee availability for that fare, but if you have the availability and you meet the advance purchase, you will meet the requirements for that fare. Now, if you had to depart 13 days from now, you don't meet the 14-day advance purchase, therefore you won't get that price. I've actually seen advance purchase fares that are 50 days out, even 120 days out. Wow. Now, if you need to travel last minute, you don't have an advance purchase, so you'll actually have a fare rule that says no advance purchase and your airfare will be slightly higher than those fares requiring a 14-day advance. Minimum and maximum stay. At times, a fare requires you to stay a Saturday night stay or a minimum of 7 days. If you need to stay shorter than that, the cheapest fare may not allow for it or fit your needs, and you'll have to buy up to a fare that has a less restrictive minimum stay. The same goes for a maximum stay. Just because an airline rule says you can only stay 30 days, it doesn't mean that you can't visit the destination longer than that. It just means you have a different rule, therefore a different fare. Daytime restrictions. The cheapest fare may require you to travel on certain days of the week. For example, a fare may be applicable for travel Monday through Thursday. If you want to fly Friday, you won't qualify for that rule, so you'll get a different fare that's associated with the Friday travel rule. Seasonality. In the travel industry, we have seasons for travel. We have low season, shoulder season, high season, and we also sometimes have peak season. This can vary from per destination. Cancellation and changes. The cheapest fare can be 100% non-refundable and non-changeable. These are rules. If you need a ticket that can be changed, you'll look for a fare rule that allows for it. Ticketing time limit. A ticketing time limit is the deadline by which the ticket needs to be issued. The ticketing varies from fare to fare, but often it's 24 hours. Now, you've heard this before. You can never guarantee the price of an airfare that you quoted that has not been ticketed. The reason why is because the rules change, taxes and currencies get adjusted, and sales end and availability can go. So the normal rule is that tickets are instant purchase to guarantee the space and price. Some airfares have a longer ticketing time limit, but remember, the longer ticketing time limit does not guarantee your price. Child discounts. Yes, there are still some child discounts for international airfares. A child is considered someone who's 2 to 11 years in age. If your child is 12 and over, they will have to pay an adult airfare. And most of the time, there is no child discount if there is a seat sale. There are a few other rules out there that can affect the price of a ticket, especially when you start adding other cities and other airlines to that ticket. In one of our scenarios, Greg has a flexible 100% non-restrictive ticket that allows him to buy that fare last minute. This ticket has no minimum stay, and Greg is looking forward to coming home on Friday and spending the weekend back at home. And if his meeting ends early in London, Greg can change his fare anytime with no fee or additional collection of money, aka no ad collect. We call Greg's ticket a fully flexible ticket. James bought his ticket to London 3 months ago and was able to save some money. His ticket also doesn't allow for refunds, has a charge to change, and requires him to stay a minimum of a Saturday night stay in London. We call James' ticket an Apex fare, or an advanced purchase excursion airfare. In our other scenario, John got his Punta Cana ticket on a seat sale 4 months ago. Kelly missed out on her deal as she didn't believe it was a sale, and even though John told her to buy it, she didn't listen. So all these rules will cause a difference in the fares you see. Another cause for the difference in airfare is the fare type, whether we booked a published fare or a net fare. So what is a published fare? An easy way to remember this, it's an airfare that's been published by the airline to the public, and it's available for all air distributors, even the airline. So these fares can be found online, the airline website, you can call up the airline, and we have easy access to them. The rules of the fares are also easily available through the airline or from the seller. What's a net fare? We often refer to these as bulk or dynamics. These are unpublished airfares. They are negotiated. They are not a block of seats that we buy up and sell, but rather contracted rates between an airline and a consolidator, a wholesaler, or a tour operator. And if those classes of service are available, we can actually get airfares at that contracted price. A consolidator fare is often air only, and a wholesaler tour operator fare is to be sold with a land component such as hotel, a car, and tour. A lot of our nets also have rules negotiated, so the advance purchase may be waived, the ticketing time limit may be more flexible, and the fare can be changed for a fee, and the ticket cost possibly could be refunded for a penalty. Bulk or dynamics. What are the differences? A bulk fare is also called a Cat 35 fare. They are known as static fares. So when the published fares go up or down, bulk fares just stay the same. Dynamic fares, also called Cat 25s, they move with the published airfares and they're discounts off the published. So if the published fares go up, the discounts are still there and they're lower than the published fares. And I've seen some pretty good discounts so you can travel and make money and save money for our clients.
When I looked online this morning, it said there were only 2 seats left, but I got on board and there were all these seats available, and this guy who paid way less than I did.
So what is availability? When you heard that there was no availability or that there were only 2 seats left, your former travel agent was referring mainly to the availability of the fare versus the physical availability on the plane. The availability is represented by a range of letters. This can also be referred to as class of service or booking class. A Y or full Y means a totally flexible economy ticket. So Greg is traveling with a full Y ticket. If you have a GDS or a general reservation system, you'll notice that there are more letters past Y, such as Bravo, Hotel, Lima, Michael, Victor, Quebec, Tango, etc. Generally, the further right you go, the more discounted and restricted the fare will be. And these letters representing the subcategories of economy can vary from carrier to carrier. So what Delta has as the most restrictive class is different than United and American. Business class fares are often represented by the letter J as in Juliet or C as in Charlie, and those tend to be fully flexible business class fares. Then there are some discounted business class fares represented by letters like Z as in Zulu or I as in India. Some of these discounted business class fares are even cheaper than full Y. But these fares could be non-refundable, may have a 30-day advance purchase, and may require you to stay a minimum of a Saturday night stay or a week to get that low discounted business class price. Fare classes for these discounts can vary from airline to airline, but when we say that our client is flying in J, we actually mean they're flying in business class. First class fares are usually represented by the letter F as in Foxtrot, A as in Alpha, or sometimes P as in Papa. Again, these can vary from carrier to carrier, but when you say that your client's traveling in Foxtrot class, this would mean they're in first class. Premium economy. Now, premium economy is not available with all carriers, but when it's available, I say book it because it's just a great upgrade from economy class. Premium economy can vary from carrier to carrier. American uses P as in Papa and W as in Whiskey class. And Delta uses G as in golf, A as in alpha, or P as in papa. Delta also has a product called Comfort Plus, which I love, and that's booked in whiskey class.
There are only 2 seats left in Zulu class.
So when we say there are only 2 seats left in a particular booking class, this means that you only have 2 seats left in that fare class. And it's time to ask our clients to book that.
My ticket has a weird code that starts with a V.
It's interesting. Mine has a Y.
So what is up with the funny codes on tickets? Well, now that you know a bit more about rules, this will be much easier to explain. So rules are represented on an airline ticket with an alphanumeric code. Normally the first letter of the fare basis is the class of service, and the rest of the code are the rules. So for example, you may have a fare basis that says QLE7NR. The letter Q is the booking class, then L here represents the low season, E is excursion, and the 7 is an advance purchase of 7 days, and it's non-refundable. You normally won't need to know what each letter means, and of course, all the rules of the carrier can't fit into the fare basis. This code will help you and the airline access these rules if you ever need them. When you see B as in Bravo in the 7th spot of the fare basis for United, American, or Delta, that means you have a basic economy airfare. That's the fare type I would avoid, and we'll talk about that in a future segment.
So next month I'm going out to Shanghai via Detroit.
Oh, you must be flying on Delta.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
How
No,
about
I'm
you?
heading out to Prague next month, and
Oh.
I'm on KLM, and
Okay.
so I have to go through Amsterdam, obviously.
Oh, that's a great connection.
Yeah, nice and easy.
Yeah, very nice.
Absolutely.
Very nice.
Hub cities. Here are some hub cities that will come in handy. Why do you think knowing hub cities is useful? Well, I find them useful as I know what city I'm going via to a destination if I know it's not a direct flight. And I also can create an itinerary where I can add a stop into a hub. It's cheaper than doing 2 tickets. So if my client James wants to go to Prague and Amsterdam, it will be better for me to book an airfare with KLM versus booking 2 separate tickets. Airline alliances are formed when different airlines come together and agree to be partners. These alliances can be advantageous to us and the client because this means we have more options for connections, we have code share benefits, we can collect and redeem frequent flyer points, and have access to alliance partners, airport facilities, and other amenities. Now, what's a code share? A code share is when you have a carrier sell a flight on their ticket, but you're actually flying on a different carrier's metal. There are a few alliances out there, and we'll focus on the top 3. Oneworld. The major U.S. partner is American. SkyTeam. The major U.S. partner is Delta. Star Alliance. The major U.S. partner is United. Knowing your alliance will help you create some seamless itineraries involving several stops and offer an airline product that will fit our clients' needs. First or business class flights have more legroom. You have your own separate cabin, aka section of the plane with your own cabin service. You get priority check-in, priority boarding privileges, and more baggage allowance. There's better entertainment than economy, and you get meal service. A lot of international flights have flat beds, and they are often 180 degrees angle, so it's flat, and so you can get to your destination well rested. And some international flights even offer chauffeur service and rides through check-in. What if your honeymooners can't afford business class? Offer premium economy if the airline has it. Premium economy is a cabin between economy and business. Clients get to enjoy priority check-in. They get priority boarding, their own cabin service with a dedicated cabin crew, improved in-flight entertainment, and better seats with better incline. So airfares can be complex. You'll find that knowing your hub cities and alliances and airfare rules will help you sound like an expert. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you learned lots.